Hey everyone, Palantir reported fiscal 2023 first quarter earnings results that pleased stock market investors. The stock was up more than 20% after the earnings were announced. So in this video, I'm going to review Palantir's latest earnings, and I'm also going to update my recommendation on Palantir stock. Going into the earnings report, I had Palantir stock as a buy, so you're going to want to tune in to see if after the stock price increased, is the stock still a buy? All right, so let's begin. So revenue increased by 18% for Palantir to 525 million. Earnings per share of 1 penny was an improvement from a loss per share of 5 cents in the same quarter last year. However, interest income totaled 20.85 million. That was up from just 547,000 year over year. Now you might all be familiar that interest rates have increased substantially worldwide, and Palantir has a substantial cash balance on its balance sheet. So Palantir was able to earn a much higher level of interest income on its cash balance compared to the same time last year. That created that boost in interest income, which is the primary reason why Palantir shifted from a loss on the bottom line to a profit on the bottom line. Total net income was 16.8 million for Q1. So if we remove that interest income, Palantir would have lost money on the bottom line again. So I know it was an exciting quarter for Palantir stock investors, and this was one of the reasons, heading into these earnings report, I told you all that this is something to look out for, that Palantir is going to be able to earn some interest income on its cash balance, and that's going to help its bottom line. And I noted that all this time since interest rates started going up, Palantir's stock price has crashed as a result of higher interest rates. Now Palantir is getting some of the benefit of higher interest rates by earning more interest income on its cash balance. So it's a little bit of a get back from higher interest rates, although the increase in profitability is not as exciting if it were to come from its operations. All right, let's move on. So Palantir, I mentioned, has $3 billion on its balance sheet, and that's how it's able to generate so much interest income. The US commercial revenue increased 26% to 107 million, nice increase. Government revenue increased by 22%. However, overall commercial revenue, which takes into account not just the US but worldwide, only increased by 15% in Q1 to 236 million. That's been the difficulty for Palantir stock, is expanding its commercial revenue. It's got a great hold on governments worldwide and getting good amount of revenue from that segment, but it really needs to increase its penetration in businesses and enterprises, because that's where there is greater potential for growth for Palantir stock. Total customer count increased impressively by 41% to 391 in Q1. Commercial customers increased to 280 from 260 in the trailing 12-month period ending December 31st. So much slower growth in the commercial segment, again, even in terms of total customers, only increasing by less than 10%. The company's forecasting next quarter revenue of 530 million, which would be a slight increase from the current quarter, and they're saying they're going to be profitable on the bottom line again. Palantir updated its recommendation. Now it says it's going to be profitable on the bottom line in every quarter of 2023. Before this quarter, what Palantir was saying was that they would be profitable for the full year, even though they may have one or two quarters that were not profitable. Overall, for the year, they would be profitable. Now they updated that recommendation and said, you know what, we're going to be profitable every quarter this year. And that's largely due to the higher interest income they're going to generate from their cash balance, and they realize that interest rates are higher and they've locked in higher interest rates on their cash balances, so they're comfortable telling investors that they're going to be profitable on the bottom line, because they know they're going to earn roughly 20 million in interest income probably in every quarter of this year, if not more than that. So reasonably good quarter for Palantir, although I would caution investors to, look at this breakdown of their performance and notice that the bulk of the increase in profits came from interest income. So don't get too excited about this boost in profitability. That's coming from interest income, which could just as easily go away next year if interest rates fall. So this isn't something that's a long-term sustainable profit engine for Palantir. It would have been more exciting if these profits came from a significant increase in profit from operations. And so, a little bit muted on that front. Although overall, I had the stock as a buy heading into these earnings. Coming out of the earnings, I would still recommend the stock as a buy. Although I would be a little more cautious because the price has gone up so much so fast after earnings. So I would be a little more cautious on that recommendation. But still, Palantir stock as a buy, and I'm happy to see the company benefiting from higher interest rates because it's been hammered so much because of higher interest rates. All right, that's all I've got for this video. Thank you for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.